your daily routine is not just shaping your future, right? It is quietly building the structure of your entire life. Because most people think that routine is simply just repetition. Well, it's deeper than that, right? So your routine is actually a system, and that system is built from your daily actions. Actions turn to habits, and those habits, because you're consistent with them, they shape the entire direction your life is heading towards.
Yeah.
And over time, that system becomes your result, whether you realize it or
Or
not.
not. Most times we see people we call successful. I don't know if you have done that, but I
Yeah.
have. I've seen successful people, and sometimes when I want to have an opportunity with them, I want to ask them, how is your daily routine? All right, because sometimes it's glaring how people achieve so much, and
Yeah.
you feel like we have the same 24 hours with these people. How do they
Exactly.
achieve so much? And you feel like
Exactly.
you've not started with your life.
Yeah.
So in this video today, we are going to explain to you on how you can start planning or creating routines for yourself. I believe strongly by the end of this video, you will have tangible points on what you need to start doing right now to start framing your life in a better direction.
Yeah. So going deeper, right? Routine is built from your habits. But before we go on explaining what we mean by that, first of all, what is a routine?
Okay.
Right? When you hear the word routine, what comes to your mind? So it's very simple. It's just a regular way of doing things repeatedly.
Exactly.
The
That's
actions
the
you
word.
take is as simple as that.
Yes.
So if you wake up in the morning every day and the first thing you do is grab your phone and head straight to Facebook, YouTube, and then you do that every day, before you know it, you're there for 1 hour.
True.
And then
More
maybe
than-
your plan initially was to get to the office by 8 a.m. And because you spend the entire 1 hour just browsing through your phone, you discover that you're late to the office, right? That's
Yes.
just one of the examples. So for some persons, they have a work routine, they have a routine even with family,
Yeah.
they have routine with their kids, they have a routine with everything they do. And I must say that for you to be a person of value in life,
Yes.
you need to have a routine. Because if you don't have, it looks as if you just wake up and anything goes, right? So a routine, like I said, it's just a collection of your daily actions repeated consistently. And how do your habits eventually how do your how is your routine built from your habits? So it is already very clear that before you achieve anything in life, you need to have a routine, right? So if you want to have a better routine or build better habits, maybe you could start with reading.
Okay.
Maybe you want to change your you want to work on your health, you can include exercising daily. Maybe you want to improve your health as well, you can also form a habit of drinking water every day, every morning when you wake up, and consistently throughout the day, right?
Yes.
And over time, because you repeat these things consistently over time, it becomes your habit. And at the end of the day, do the same things for like 6 months, your life is completely transformed. Right? So when I wanted to start real estate, I remember when I reached out to my boss and I said, "Sir, I want to do this thing you're doing." And he simply said, "Go and do 90 days challenge." And I kept on asking why. Why why 90 days challenge, right? And he said, just do it for 90 days. Do this thing for 90 days. And when I began that journey, honestly, all I had in mind was 90 days. But along the way, I realized that I was beginning to shape my actions every day. The things I wake up and I focus on began to change every day.
True.
And that entire process formed me over 6 months. I became, a complete different person entirely. And from that day onwards, I keep improving and changing. So if you have a goal in life, you need to build a routine around your goal, build a structure around it, build a system around it for you to see the results you want to see.
whoa, this thing you just said is quite deep. If every human can literally take these lines you just mentioned and put it in action judiciously, you will definitely see become a transformed person.
Exactly.
Consistency is what gives habits power. So you
Wow.
constantly, that habit you want to change or invite, if you constantly do it. For example, there's this person that talked about the 100 days rule. She
Yeah.
talked about 90 days. You're not doing it to punish yourself. You are doing it to change your behavioral habits. Imagine, like she gave an example. You wake up and it's first your phone. All right. You want to change that habit. What you
Exactly.
start doing is, what am I changing it with?
Yes.
That's the first step. So if I want to read, or if I want to read my Bible, if I want to read a book, if I want to listen to something, that's a new habit you want to build. Every single day, that is the goal. In fact, some people go deeper, pasting it on the wall, because some bad habits people have built over the years, for you to change it, you need a higher form of strength, discipline to change it. You don't just say something in mouth, I want to do 90 days, I want to do 1 day. No, it doesn't work like that. You have to constantly put in measures to change that habit, because I mean, you're an adult now, you've done something over a period of time. For you to change it, you have to do something drastic to change it. Habits alone are not enough. All right, I want to do this, is not enough. So habits without consistency will have no impact in what you are doing. Consistency is what turns those small habits into something powerful. I would always say that some people, there's this woman I follow, she constantly posts, she does written posts a lot, and she says sometimes she does up to 20 written posts. She believes strongly that video content are better off. But this is what she had done over a period of time. So
it has become a
and
habit.
she's encouraging some people, please do video rather than text. But this is working, and she's getting traction every single day.
Wow.
All right. So as a young person, let's pause and ask ourselves a question. What is something you want to change, or you're looking at this thing, it's not leading you anywhere, and you want to change it? What is that one thing? That's the first step. And also, you also need to itemize your life. For example, she talked about health, exercise. I remember one time I told myself I wanted to do exercise for 3 months. How far now? I did 1 month, I couldn't keep up. All right. So, but imagine if I had to put measures to it that constantly will make me, or what's even my end goal? All right. What is it I am trying to achieve at the end of these 3 months? Those are the things that will help me constantly. Even when I'm tired, I'll drag myself to the gym or go for a walk. Right. For example, posting once on social media is nothing in this our day and age. If you are still doing one post a day and you are looking for virality, unless maybe something different happens, but people I'm telling you, people are doing more. They are going all out. So you have to go all out if you are looking to post and become a content creator. All right. Reading one book also once in a while will do nothing for you. Like I would always say, instead of telling yourself, oh, the excuse, or giving yourself excuse, you can start by 1 page a day. Over time, you build that habit of moving to 2 pages a day. All right. And like that, you will now love the habit of reading. If you've never learned to read before, for you to start the habit of reading is war. All right, your body will fight you. Every part of your system will fight you.
What you're used to already.
Do you understand? You will fight you. All right. So how do you ensure that you get this right habit? It's by consistency and putting systems to it. All right. So let me stop here for now. But in summary, in this point, consistent habits, all right, is what brings the transformation. Not just the habits. I want to do this. Those are the habits you want to build. But consistency to the habits is what brings transformation.
Yeah. So your routine creates direction, and someone might be asking how. That's because it turns your intentions into consistent actions. Yes. So many people know what they want, right? They want better health, better financial growth, a strong spiritual life, a thriving career. Like you want to be successful, right?
True.
But without a routine, everything is just a wish. Yeah.
Mere wish.
You're just wishing, But this is where a lot of people miss it. Like she rightly said, you should put measures around what the habit you want to, change. So your routine is not just what you do, it is also where you are going. It is where you are going. Now, let me explain this very simply. So if your routine is full of distraction every day, maybe you set your itemize, right? And then you set out time to do certain things, and then you easily get distracted by one activity or another, and or you procrastinate, right? This will bring confusion. At the end of the day, you're just everywhere. You can't really pinpoint, this is what I did today, or this is what I did not do. And your life will slowly move in that direction. At the end of the day, you feel like your life is full of chaos. Like there's nothing tangible, there's nothing you're doing. But if your routine is structured, is intentional, and then you add a little bit of discipline to it, your life will move in that direction. So if your goal this year, for example, is to become the best-selling realtor in Abuja, what do you think should be your routine? I'll just say that your routine should be around activities that would help you build a system that would help you achieve that goal, right? So whatever goal it is you have in life, maybe you want to be successful. You see some successful people, you admire them. They did not wake up and become successful
overnight.
They had something, and it started with one. You cannot just wake up today and, build a system. You start doing that gradually by changing one procrastinating action to a productive activity, right? From one to the other, and gradually you build a structure and a system around yourself. So direction is something you decide once, and direction is something your routine is building, every day. That's why two people can start the same thing, same year, same time, but end up in completely different places. What is the difference? It's not because one was lucky and the other one was unlucky. No, it is because of their routines were headed in different directions, even though they started the same thing.
Wow.
So where you are headed to in life, your goals, you build a system, you build a good routine around that would help you achieve what you want to do in life.
Whoa. So if you're watching this video and you watch this up to this very point, and there's something that maybe you have a question, you need a clarification in any way on how to kickstart to transform your life, let us know in the comment section.
Yeah.
Much more than selling real estate, we are much more concerned about you making headway in life. And that is why we are talking about this live and sharing about this live points or life of sections. Now let's talk about the structure and the business of your life. Right? Sometimes ago, in fact, I watched something of a man who literally divided his routine life into mornings, afternoons, and nights. Right? And I also want also that wherever you are, it's always different from the next person. Some people are now in their 40s. Their routine may be different from you that is in your 20s.
Exactly.
All right. Some people are in their 50s. Their routines will be different. So I always believe strongly that whenever I watch something or listen to something, I find myself in whatever I'm listening, because it will be different from, in fact, whatever I listen to and whatever it may be different, okay, maybe slightly different. So it's necessary you find out where you are. So if you're a young person, what should be your routine life? What is your goal? She talked about a goal. The goal helps you to know, okay, this is the end goal of what I'm looking out for. I talked about exercise. What am I looking out for? I'm weighing 100 kg. I want to weigh 80. It's a goal. So every month I have to calculate based on my food and what I do. What am I working on? Do you understand? It's broken down. It's easier. So you see someone who is running a business. What are you looking out to achieve as a business owner? Do you want to just run a business, open a company, people come and work, no direction? They are not looking to achieve anything. Do you want to make more money? Do you want people to know you more? Do you want to generate leads? So you get to see that direction is necessary. This is where structure comes in. And I love the fact that sometimes with structure, even if you don't know, there's someone out there that knows. You can bring on the person. Please, I need a structure in my finance, in my for example, the HR, the staff. There are different sectors in business. You don't know how to market. you get a marketing expert rather than drown and allow time waste for you. As a young person, you're working in a company. Apart from the value you are giving to the company, how is your life going? Are you building yourself in such a way that you are adding so much value in yourself that is reflecting in the business? Because everybody loves someone who brings value.
Exactly.
At a point, they will now be like, what is this person even doing in this company? And before you know it's something, they will just let you go. So derive joy in adding so much value in yourself. If you love finance, banking and finance, accountancy, learn more on those skills. If you are an interpersonal relations manager, know more on that. All right. If you are a marketing and sales person, there is something to know. So as much as you are bringing value to where you are working, you have to constantly enlighten yourself. And that is where structure comes in. So apart from coming to the office morning till evening and you go home, what do you do when you go home? Sometimes someone says
you're 5 to 9.
You're 5 to 9. Your 5 to 9 matters. Yes. Right? Do you just go and sleep and wake up the next morning and you dress up and come to work again? As a young person, you shouldn't be found doing that, right? You should never be caught doing that because you have energy, you have life, you have intellect, you have everything you need to bring so much value to yourself and also to the person you are working for. Like I said, structure is needed, discipline is needed, clarity is needed, goal, set a goal. All right, I want to make so million. What gave me more clarity as I started my real estate journey was it last year or last 2 years? You know, when you want to do something, it's vague. It's sometimes it takes time for you to achieve something. So I told myself, I want to make 100,000 naira. I started small because it's something I can relate with. I didn't want so much. I just wanted small. So I started with, let me sell 1 million naira property and make 100. So I'll be like, with this now, I know I can do more. Right? And that's what helped me. Funny that I now sold a 10 million naira and I got 1 million naira. Do you understand? So it was easy for me to scale from there, right? So whatever scale, wherever you are in business, a married woman, a husband, this video we are doing cuts across everybody. Exactly. So get a clear goal, what I want. You don't have money, you're always broke. What should I start doing to start making money? And you have a great skill.
And
that's
the
always,
urgent 2K.
And the urgent 2K, you're always asking for urgent 2K.
K.
This is the video you need to start creating transformations in your life.
So here's the final truth, right? What you repeat becomes your life.
True.
There are no two ways about it. What you repeat becomes your life. You're not becoming what you want. You're becoming what you repeat. So your habits will determine your routine, right? And your consistency will strengthen it. And then your routine will set the direction of your life. So if you have a goal, but your routine does not align with your goal, your routine is setting the direction of your life. As simple as it is, right? So everything is connected. If you repeat chaos, your life becomes scattered. If you repeat discipline, your life becomes structured, right? If you repeat focus, your life becomes progress. And even your current results are not random. The most shocking thing I heard when I started my 90 days challenge, and I didn't even believe it, right? They said that it was that I am in this, my current situation, this brokenness, as a result of my past actions. In the past, what did I do to change my financial situation? So today, right now, what are you doing to change your financial situation tomorrow? Or what are you doing to better your life tomorrow? You can't just sit there every day and keep wishing. No, your actions, your routine, your habits will determine the kind of results you get. So again, results are not random. They are reflection of your daily system.
So we will not give you we will not shoot a video without providing or preferring solutions to you. So here are the solutions that you can start working on today. First thing, fix your habits. So what are the bad habits you have that sometimes you know or sometimes you don't know that are robbing you of things you are supposed to get? Sometimes it could be too much sleeping. you sleep a lot, much more compared to what you are supposed to do, right? Sometimes you talk too much. Sometimes you don't know how to say no. You collect everything, whether the ones that are urgent and important and the ones that should be kept aside, or the ones you should have delegated. You collect everything. You don't know how to say no. All right. So there are some habits you need to fix. All right. Pay attention to that. Then the next thing is commit to consistency. Now that you've known what you want to do, decide to be consistent about it. I am telling you for a fun fact, it is not easy. It's not easy to do something consistently every day over a period of time. I've started things I wasn't consistent at. I always tell myself the truth. Like I told you, I started a gym and I couldn't sustain it. In fact, I've started again. Hallelujah, somebody, right?
Glory to God. This
I've
time around.
resumed again, right? But I've started things that I didn't put up. I couldn't continue. But with consistency, we'll always see the results. I always see some women who have given birth to 5, 6 children, and they're looking sharp. I'm like, how did they do this?
How did they achieve this?
So you see that some things that you've seen people do it, so it's doable. So why am I not doing it?
Exactly.
Right. So find out your own way of staying consistent in something and define your direction. That somebody else did this in 6 months, you can do yours in 12. You can do. My own is that our journeys are not the same. All right,
do not have the same timeline.
Timeline, exactly. Our journeys are never, because there's environment, there's something that could help them, right, to achieve theirs faster. But your own, you may not have it. So if you know that you are consistent in something, you can achieve yours in maybe 7 months. But the aim and the goal is that you are better off compared to the last 6 months. Then the next thing, as you've gotten direction of that, you build your routine around these 3 things: habits, consistency, and direction. With these 3, you have set up a solid structure for your life.
So the real question here, like we asked earlier, we're going to ask you this question again. What habits are shaping your routine right now? Think about it, right? So don't just go on this journey with us through this session today and just listen. Just ask yourself these questions. What are those habits are shaping my routine right now? So if the habits that are shaping your routine are not heading, taking you to where you want to be in life, you need to do something about it, and immediately, right? Just like we said again, because your routine is not just a schedule, right? It's not something random, right? It's something that needs direction. So it is going to lead your life. It's going to move your life towards your desired goals and your results. So pay attention to it.
All right. As we round up this live section, if you found value in this video, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel. And I'm going to round up by talking about mindset. Mindset is the summary of everything we've talked about. If your mind can't carry what you are looking out to achieve, whatever you do, you always fall. Like you can't even sustain it. So think of things, mindset blocks that you've had over a period of years that had kept you at a point or a position. People have been talked down on as kids. Some people had been denied of some things. So they always feel they are not good enough to achieve something. They always think that this is for some people, is not for me. All right. And that mindset will constantly keep you at a place. Right. So mindset is king in everything you are doing. Some people have believed so much that they can achieve a lot, and you see them going ahead because their mindset is right. And we want that for you to create a routine to transform your life, your mindset needs to also align. As a young person, as a business owner, as someone who wants to improve or increase in their finances, build a habit that will start up that journey for you. And most especially also the mindset game, you need to correct it. If you believe or you know that you have wrong mindsets to things, sit down and ask yourself questions. You know yourself better than any other person.
Exactly.
There are some things that always constantly hold you at a place. I was talking to a younger person, and the person says, I asked him, what is your daily routine like? And he couldn't pinpoint something he does. So he always has his phone. We call it doom scrolling, right? From Instagram to Facebook to TikTok to YouTube to watching movie,
Snapchat,
to Snapchat, you come back
to
to Facebook
Netflix.
again. You understand? At the end of the day, your time is going.
Mm.
But you want something good for yourself. But you are wasting time on these ones that are literally taking everything from you.
Yeah.
Right? So you see, when you sit down and have that conversation, honest, brutal conversation with yourself, that's when you start making headway. So we want the best for you, and that's why we are doing this video content for you. And that is all from me in this live section.
So if you got value from this session today,
Yeah.
let us know in the comments, right? And just subscribe to this channel, like and share to as many of your friends, people around you as possible, so they can also get value. Until we come your way again, have a nice day. Bye.